Welcome back to another episode of Bromance. I'm Ryan, and today I had the fellas on. Without really spoiling the episode, normally I have people on to promote their leagues, promote their tournaments. I have people on, whether it's one person or two people, to talk about themselves and give them a platform to talk. But today, doing something a little different. I've been sitting on this for a while, and we are finally ready to announce it. So, without spoiling it, let's hit the intro. All right, guys, are we ready to get into what we're here for today?
I think so.
Cool, why not?
All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, before we actually get into it, let's introduce ourselves for anyone who doesn't know. Audrey, why don't you start first?
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Audrey. I guess those of you who play dodgeball on the East Coast might know me. I've been playing dodgeball for I think 7 years now, but I started playing more competitively a couple years ago. This year, I went to a ton of tournaments. I think I went to like five or six of the different USA tournaments, including nationals. I learned what it feels like to play a 2 day and then a 3 day tournament. And yeah, I just love dodgeball. So I think that's why I'm here.
Garrett.
Yeah, so Garrett Jacobowitz here. I've been playing dodgeball for this January will be my third year. Captain of Acid. Don't know much what else to say other than that. Love dodgeball. Love every ball type. But I think Audrey can agree with me on this that cloth might be king at the moment.
Pod's over.
But yeah, no, I love dodgeball to death. Last year was my first full, or this past 2025 was my first full year of competing in tournaments um, actively. I did my first three USA stops between Cleveland, Boston, and Nationals, and had a great time. And looking forward to continuing in the future and getting better and hopefully, bringing other people out from Connecticut in the future as well.
I like
Awesome.
I liked your intro better than mine, Garrett. We'll redo mine. I play on acid. Just
She does. She
throwing that
does.
out there. Yeah. And Kunoichi. I
Yes.
probably should have mentioned that.
Sick jerseys. One of my favorite jerseys.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, guys, we've been sitting on this for a while. I have not been nervous about an episode in a while. I'm a little nervous right now, but let's talk about it. So, this will come out Wednesday live, but we're here to talk about our new dodgeball league. Why don't we get right into the first question? Garrett, how did the idea for this league start?
Yeah, so I guess just to right off the bat, the new league will be named Connecticut Dodgeball. It just feels all-encompassing. We're all from Connecticut. We all met within Connecticut, and we're looking to grow the sport in Connecticut. Um, but where this all started was it's been something in my mind for quite a while now, possibly even verging on for the last entire year. Um, as I started competing in tournaments, I realized that most of the people who I would face on the opposite side of the court were getting a lot more regular play time than I was in terms of just like their everyday play time, like within local leagues or just back at home. And I realize that that might be an issue going forward with many of us from Connecticut who want to start competing more. So the main area that I was like most concerned with initially was with specifically cloth play because prior to me playing in the Cleveland round this year, I had done one cloth open gym up in Boston 2 weeks beforehand, and that was the highest level of cloth play that I had ever had. and I was going into captaining a team for two different cloth divisions in Cleveland. Uh, that 2 weeks later, so it definitely was very eye-opening with the fact that like we have a lot of ground to cover, and where we were typically playing for just 1 day a week wasn't really going to cut it in my books. So it's kind of where things started. Back at the beginning of the summer, I started hosting some closed practices, specifically for cloth, and they were like very successful. Um, so, I just continued rolling with that. And, recently, Ryan had started running, kind of taking that over in a little, somewhat of a way, and taking over with hosting some private phone practices. And, we're really liking how things are turning out so far. And we think that there's a very good outlook for the state of Connecticut with getting just more playing time for everybody. So it's kind of where things started.
Audrey?
Yeah, so kind of along the lines of what Garrett was saying. So I started playing more competitively this year, and I realized that there are so many that women, female identifying players that are just crushing it at the USA level. Especially like the West Coast side too. That was really eye-opening because I'd only done East Coast tournaments before this past year. And we have such a great like small crew of um, women that are already playing in Connecticut, but it's very small compared to other places. And so I've always kind of envisioned having like a larger environment for that group of players. And so I think it just kind of aligned where Garrett was envisioning this for different ball types. And then I was like, hey, like women's development, like starting a winter league, super important to me. And we just started talking about it and it just kind of lined up.
And to kind of piggyback off of that too, I mean, I've been playing dodgeball for a long time, and I have a ton of friends, whether they play in a league or they run a league, and I've kind of bounced ideas off of them. They bounce ideas off of me, been able to network, and I've had a lot of good ideas that I feel like I can bring to the table, and I'm very excited for what we have going towards the future and the community that we have. So moving into the next question, Audrey, what's the general goal of the league?
So I think the general goal, like to put it the most simply, is to play good dodgeball. Um, but to expand on that, I think we want an inclusive environment. We want to encourage people at whatever level of dodgeball play they are to play regularly, get better, and just kind of build a fun network of people that are interested in dodgeball in Connecticut. So we want different levels from if you're just starting out to if you envision yourself trying out for the practice squad 1 day, and just a good, like, I don't know, like a safe environment for people to grow.
Garrett, anything to add?
I guess just to like piggyback off of what Audrey was saying, just overall envisioning an environment where, um, we can continue with that pipeline that has already kind of started to get established in Connecticut with people who, come into a rec dodgeball league and realize that there's really something there because the sport is just so great and the community nationwide, internationally, and locally. It's just also welcoming and so great that creating an environment that is maybe a little bit more welcoming towards brand new people, and having, I guess, more opportunities for new people to kind of get within the mix without being just out talented and things like that off the bat is just something that I think is one of the big reasons as to why I would really like to get things going here.
Yeah, I totally agree. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think like the simplest way to just put it is we want more people, we want more nights, we want to bring people out to tournaments, we want people to go and travel, within the country, even internationally, if that's what they choose. But we just want more dodgeball at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
All
More
right.
dodgeball. Yep.
Do good sports.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Garrett, who is this league for and what should people expect?
Yeah, so I did just touch on that a little bit, but this league is for everybody at the end of the day. There's no easier way to put it. While we do have quite varying level of experience on our committee, um, and we anticipate a good level of experience with a portion of our players that we anticipate will be participating. We really care most about bringing in new people, new talent, um, at any stage. Whether you've played a throwing sport before, whether you've played an adult rec sport before, or whether you've done neither of the sort, like we want you. We want to help you learn the sport, see how great it is, see how great the community is as a whole, and you can go from there and take what you want from it. But just know that at the end of the day, like our league is here to welcome you, whether you anticipate on just playing locally, or you have those aspirations of building up your skill level to compete in tournaments, whether locally, regionally, nationally, or internationally. So.
Audrey, anything to add?
Yeah, I think Garrett put it really well, but I just think there's so many people when I tell them that I play dodgeball that they're like, whoa, or they're just shocked, or they're like, that's so cool, that's so exciting. A couple of people are like, but for the most part, people are really excited about it. And I think having a place where those people can try it out too. Like, I think that dodgeball is just getting started. I mean, I know we have so many people that have been building this sport for, I mean, decades at this point. I know, Ryan, you're one of them. And that's amazing. Now's the time that we can kind of use that momentum that those people have built for us and try to really expand it throughout the kit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Just trying to get back to the sport I've been playing for a long time, and the people that we're looking for, we want people who are looking for, to have a good time. Whether again it's just like a rec level or you're super competitive. We are looking for like the community that we currently have. We're looking for like newer people. Again, it doesn't matter if you've played a sport or not, or old faces. I feel like there's people that, whether it's been dodgeball or kickball or any other sport that really kind of gotten phased out. And here's an opportunity to come back and play a sport and hopefully for you to fall in love with it again. All right. Next question. Audrey, when does this new league start?
That's a little bit left to be determined. However, we do know we are going to start our first league in the springtime, hopefully the early spring. So we've been talking with a couple different venues. We want to make sure that we have a great spot for this new league. But that'll be announced very soon. I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit more about what we have in the meantime, though, Ryan.
Yeah, we've been doing practices on Sundays. We've been getting anywhere from 10 people to I think the most we've had is 17 or 18 people on a Sunday. We've had people come down from Boston. We've had people, from Connecticut. So it's been fun. It's been 2 hours. It's been foam. We've had a bunch of different, ideas and things that we've been doing, whether it's, 6 on 6. It's, we did one week like 9 on 8. We split up between 3 teams. But yeah, we're just literally trying to play as much dodgeball as possible. Garrett, next question. What ball type is this league?
Yeah, so with any dodgeball, I feel for the most part, at least outside of Europe, um, we will primarily be a foam league for the most part. But with that said, we will have a focus very strongly on incorporating as many ball types as possible, whether that ends up being on different nights of the week or changing up seasons here and there. We really intend to continue building on the cloth excitement that's kind of been growing in Connecticut. But also, we can't shy away from I think all three of us here are still no sting enjoyers. and that's where I started. I started with no sting, and I intend to, you know, I'd love to see other people, I guess, get their start with no sting as well. So I think we have the intention of doing all three of those, but there are other ball types out there as well that maybe the time and day will come where
We're gonna start with
uh,
pinch.
yeah, where
8.5 pinch, please.
where we could try out some things like 8.5 pinch. Who knows? Who knows? The world's our is our oyster.
Honestly, what we should do is we should just deflate the shit out of a no stang ball and do pinch no stang.
That's dangerous.
The world is our oyster, but it's a foam oyster.
Yes. All right, next question. Where is this league going to be, Audrey?
So I kind of talked about it earlier, how we're still working out with what venue we're gonna start with, but definitely somewhere in central Connecticut. So the goal is that people from the central Connecticut region, but also near Hartford or New Haven, are all within like a comfortable driving distance.
Garrett, anything to add to that?
No, we like Audrey put it very well. We're aiming for central Connecticut. That way, people from all over the state and even, maybe from even outside the state, could just have an easier drive to get to us.
It's a good point. All right, moving on to the next question. Garrett, how do you plan on creating a good experience?
Yeah, so obviously everything's still very much so a work in progress. But I think one of our largest ideas here, our biggest ideas here, is just the league format and our general season format, in which case we intend on sticking uh, very much so to draft and remix leagues for the most part. I will say from experience in the past, when other leagues in Connecticut have done bring your own team leagues for any sport, kickball, dodgeball, uh, flag football, like the competition level is can get pretty uneven. And I personally feel that that can turn some of the newer people away, which is, very unfortunate at the end of the day. So the whole intention behind sticking with drafts and remix leagues is the opportunity to spread the talent around and ensure that people who are coming into the sport brand new will number one get to meet a bunch of new faces, which is awesome. That's what I've enjoyed so much about playing rec sports in my adult life. Um, but then at the same time, like you will have people with experience on your team who can help show you the ropes, whether or not it's to just play locally, like like I was saying earlier, or to maybe build up to play at a higher level at some point down the line. um, that's kind of our intention at the end of the day, to ensure that this league is I guess accessible and enjoyable for everybody, regardless if you're a higher level somebody who's been playing for a while, or if you're kind of brand new to the sport.
Audrey?
Yeah, Garrett put it really well. One story I like to tell is Garrett and I knew each other and we were friendly, but it wasn't until we were actually on the same draft team that we became such close friends. And we ended up playing together on Sid traveling throughout the country together. So that was really cool. So I'm really excited about doing draft formats and remix formats. Um, I think we also want to do things that are like not necessarily related. So creating a sense of community, making sure we have good social events, because we know that people do adult sports not just to actually play the sport, but to form a social connection. So that's something that we're really looking forward to as well.
And yeah, also just to kind of put in my 2 cents here, I think it's almost impossible to like not have clicks in like literally anything in life. But in my personal experience, doing drafts or like remixes kind of really splits that up. So you might be friendly with someone, but you don't really, get the opportunity, I guess, to talk to them. You play with them for one season, and then you see them, your first week of the next season. You're like, hey man, what's up? How are things been? Blah blah blah. So I think it's a lot easier for everyone to be more friendly and kind of incorporate everyone.
Definitely.
All right, next question, Audrey. Will this be streamed?
This is a better question for you, Ryan. Will this be streamed?
Yeah, this will definitely be streamed. If you know me, I have been streaming any dodgeball that I've been playing for pretty much the last year. I used to always record and then post afterwards, but I feel like it's a cool element just being able to watch it live. And let's say someone can't make a tournament or, someone can't make a practice or whatever, someone can't make a league night, you get to the option to watch that live. So that's definitely something that I will continue to do. And I am also looking to kind of upgrade that. And I will shout out Philly Dodgeball because I think they do an awesome job with that, where they stream and they have commentators and they have like a face cam. So I don't know if I could do all that, but I am looking to upgrade. So that's something that I'm looking to do. Next, let's go with Garrett. Garrett, do we have a website?
That we do. That we do. And this kind of goes with all social media and everything like that. You can find us at ConnecticutDodgeball.com or at the major social platforms at Connecticut Dodgeball, spelt out. It's a long one, but you should know how to spell Connecticut out. So that's how I'll put it.
Don't shame the viewers.
True.
I'll put links in the description. All right, next question. Do we have any let's go back a little bit. Any dreams of maybe hosting a tournament?
I definitely do. Going back to the whole cloth thing, cloth has definitely been very high on my just, I guess, personal radar for the last year, especially after playing my first cloth tourney back at beginning of last May. And there's, like I said before, there's been a lot of interest in cloth in Connecticut, and I would love to sooner than later get a cloth draft tournament going. But I feel the same way about foam as well. The more local tournaments we could have, the better. I think Ryan, you could agree with me on that one, that a foam draft tournament would is definitely something that's on our very close radar as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, there's other leagues to point out too. So like BDL, they do 2 a year. Um, I think they've done five total so far, and that's been very successful. But yeah, I mean, I've always had ambitions of maybe hosting a tournament. I mean, I've played in hundreds at this point. But yeah, whether it's something small where it's like 4-on-4 or 6-on-6 BYOT or it's a remix or draft or whatever, like I think Audrey can say the same thing where we do have ambitions of eventually hosting a tournament.
Definitely. And shout out to Philly for the Galentine's Day. I'm so excited. And hopefully, one day when we are more established, we can do something like that too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, on to the next question. Audrey, have we had any help from other leagues or players?
Actually, blanking right now who we've had help from. Ryan, do you want to give them some?
Yeah, for sure. So we have been talking to BDL. So I've been talking to Bo. We've been talking to LI Kick. So I've been talking to John Carlo and Sal. And we have also been talking to Philly Dodgeball. So it's been like Sam Sayward and Frankie. But yeah, we're at the end of the day, we're just trying to give the best experience to everyone. And we have all these leagues to lean on and see what worked well, what didn't, and just give everyone the best experience possible.
Definitely. And shout out to everyone that's been coming to the Sunday night practices. Because some people have been coming as far as Boston too, which is such a drop. But it's really cool to be able to play with everyone.
Yeah, Garrett?
Absolutely. No, shout out to, BDL, LI Kick, Philly Dodgeball, and I mean outside of, those few who we've spoken with, just shout out to every other league in the country, locally, within Connecticut and outside of Connecticut. Like our intention at the end of the day is to kind of pull the best from everywhere possible. Even as far as like Seattle dodgeball, like some of the concepts that they run off of, and Minnesota dodgeball, and Cactus Dodgeball, and just seeing how successful they are with bringing in new talent, but then also fostering the talent that they have. I think at the end of the day, like we're just trying to take inspiration from everywhere possible and ensure that we can kind of work that together in our own amalgamation to come up with the best product possible.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna shout out leagues that have really good websites because it's been great to see how you do your website. So thank you.
Knicks.com. But yeah, shout out the other leagues too that we haven't mentioned or have mentioned. But yeah, I mean, I think it's also a good idea for like social media stuff. I'll always shout it out, but shout out the Rushdown with Kim. I think honestly, what really gave me the idea, and I should have said this in the beginning, but really what gave me the idea to start a league or to like really advance a league would be the Seattle podcast where they had Lou on and others, and just hearing everyone talk about what they have and the multiple nights and everything that's gone into it. I listened to that episode like 3 times. It's like a 2 hour long podcast. So that's really where the idea, I guess, kind of came from me. All right, next question. Audrey, do we have a committee?
Yes, I feel like you spoiled this at the beginning when you said we have a great committee, but we do have a committee. So it's the three of us, and we're still ironing out the official titles. I really want to be the director of culture, but we're going to see how that plays out. Fight Garrett for it. Um, yeah, but we want to run this league as a committee because we want to get feedback from the participants. We want people to feel like they can come to any of us and voice their concerns or their ideas. And we've seen how other leagues have done it with committees, and it just seems like an obvious choice. So the three of us are on it. Yeah.
Garrett?
I mean, Audrey pretty much answered it there. We have a very strong base between the three of us, but there may or may not be an additional person on this committee who you all will be finding out about at a later date. But we're just very excited to, I guess, all be working together for the same goal at the end of the day, and you know we're hoping to make a lot out of Connecticut dodgeball, and see it go far. So I think that's a very common goal that we all have. So it's great to have at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I also think with a committee, we can all really shine of like what our strengths are. And at the end of the day, it's a lot for 1 or 2 people to kind of handle. So I think that it's good that we have 4, with Audrey being the director of culture. And then Garrett and I, we have to pan out our our roles.
You,
But
you guys handle everything else. I'll just handle all cultural.
I can do like memes and Twisted Tea enthusiasts.
Garrett will
I
handle
guess I'll do
everything
everything else.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garrett does all the professional stuff. All right, next question. What does this mean league to us? Garrett, why don't you start with this?
Wait, sorry. Just jumping back. If you actually want to know what our actual roles are, it will be on the website.
Yeah, on a social media post soon.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, on to the next question. What does starting this league mean to us? Garrett, why don't you start with this one?
Yeah, so I guess just to go back to my start in adult rec sports, it was coming right out of the pandemic. Had felt like I had just where I grew up in life. I was in college during the pandemic and working a lot, so I wasn't living on campus and didn't really like get to foster like a lot of relationships there and things like that. And then, went straight into the pandemic and by the end of it, I just felt pretty disconnected from, a lot of like community within my age range and stuff like that. So I started my first rec sport, which happened to be kickball, and met plenty of great people. And that's how it's actually how I got into dodgeball the first time by being invited to play by some other players in that local kickball league. And I met the Connecticut, the local community of dodgeballers, and got trounced on my first season. And bring your own team season, so be it. But man, I loved it. I loved it. Um, it gave me something to work towards at the end of the day, just like outside of work, you know what I mean? Just something like in somewhat of a hobby, but like, also just in the midst of how much I've been playing, like I've definitely bettered my overall like physical health and things of that nature. And that's been like just an over encompassing benefit to playing dodgeballs frequently as I would like to and as I have been. Um, but yeah, kind of lost my train of thought there.
You're good.
PhD is wide.
Audrey?
I really love dodgeball. I have such a great time with it. I met my husband playing dodgeball, so I owe a
Shout out
lot to the
Kyle.
sport. Yeah, shout out to my husband Kyle. Um, I owe a lot to the sport, and in particular, I grew up playing sports all the time. So I was always like a three-season athlete, for if you count the summer. And so I think, especially like women's sports really mean a lot to me. So the idea that this league will be an opportunity to grow dodgeball for that community just really means a lot to me. I'm very excited.
All right. And to kind of answer my own question, what does starting this league mean to us? I will say that I have been playing for a long time and I really want to give back. I want to grow the sport again, whether it's people that are just playing in Connecticut and, playing in other tournaments that get to travel across the world and see different things. Um, Really just taking pride in something that we're all starting. So this year I started a podcast that I feel like has been pretty successful. And I just want to create something that's successful and something as a father that I could show my son a few years from now and just honestly be like, hey, if you put your mind to something, like you could really do it. And yeah. All right. Last question. Where can people find us on social media? Garrett.
Well, just to touch on it again, because we need all those followers. Follow us at Connecticut Dodgeball, ConnecticutDodgeball on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and wherever else you could find people on social media. Personally, you can find me at GBJXX3 on Instagram. Also, my other pages, follow us at Acid Dodgeball and Saga Sportwear. But onto Audrey, where can we find you?
That was some really impressive spelling, Garrett. I know you weren't even like reading off of a prompt
It
or
wasn't.
anything.
I wasn't.
That was great. I don't even know what my social media handles are, but just find me. Find me through I I don't even know. Find me through the acid page or something. Maybe Garrett knows my handles.
I
But I am on Instagram technically and Facebook. So, and I think it's under Audrey Baker. So, yeah.
Link in the description. I've been good about this, people, for like last month and a half. Um,
Yeah.
Garrett, where can people find you in Clash of Clans?
um somewhere in the Clash.
All right. And last question. Do we have any closing thoughts? Garrett, why don't you start with this one?
Yeah, so overall, We are just so excited to be able to have this opportunity here in Connecticut. This opportunity could have never happened without the other leagues and organizations that kind of operate locally and within the region. And we have the utmost gratitude for kind of what they've been able to provide to us so far. Um, and at the end of the day, like we're just looking to continue growing that and helping, spread the message of the gospel of dodgeball to more and more people, because the sport at the end of the day is just I can't even put it into words. Great is an understatement for the impact of dodgeball on all of us here, the three of us. But just like personally, like it's just done so much. Um, so I just at the end of the day, like I just want to continue growing on what's already been established in Connecticut and just kind of helping everyone flourish.
Audrey?
That's hard to follow. That was so eloquently put. I have two closing thoughts. The first is a shout out to my husband, because he's awesome. He's in the other room right now trying to be quiet. So that's great. Um, and the second is I think we should make a challenge. So for every new Instagram follower that we get in the month of January is one cloth ball that Ryan has to throw.
Oh man. I thought you're gonna be like
Oh
Garrett has
yeah.
to Venmo you $1 or something.
No, you have to Venmo me a dollar.
Yeah, we could combine it. So Ryan has to Venmo Garrett $1 and he has to throw a cloth ball.
I like that.
uh Maybe.
We're gonna boost those numbers.
Yeah, do it for the follows.
Yeah,
Oh, I need to learn how to throw a cloth ball first righty, and then I'll do it.
we got
Uh, all right. Any closing thoughts? Yeah, to answer my own question again, I will say that, man, we've been sitting on this for a while. There's been a lot of hard work that's been put in behind the scenes. Not so much for me. I'm more of like just the organizing Sunday stuff and kind of giving my 2 cents. But shout out to Garrett for everything that's been created with the logo. It looks sick. Audrey, with everything that you've been doing behind the scenes. I downloaded Microsoft Teams, never knew that was a thing. So that is definitely not, that's not my strength. But yeah, shout out to you guys and everything that you guys have been doing behind the scenes.
yeah. I mean, shout out to you as well, Ryan, for everything you've been doing. Don't underplay yourself because putting in a lot of work as well. And at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to be able to accomplish anything that we hope to accomplish without the collective of the four of us at the end of the day. So, you know, I would just like to say that I greatly appreciate all the effort that you, Ryan, and Audrey and our secret member have been putting in so far. And just really looking forward to, everything that's to come.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to post this. Got to sit on it for like another day or two, but I could do it. I could do
I believe in you.
it.
Just procrastinate a little longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be easy. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for hopping on.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thanks for
having us.
having us.
Anytime. Peace.